Yes, dear students, I welcome you for another presentation. In today's presentation, we are going to see the brief on the contents of the syllabus of the physics for this JEE examination, right? By the way, today we are going to discuss about the content of the syllabus in overview, right? This is lecture 1 in which as a introduction we are going to see today the the coverage of the syllabus for JEE JEE main examination for 2027, in fact, and especially for physics. This is for physics only. This is for physics subject. We are going to see what is the total syllabus coverage for this JEE main examination 2027. Okay, as well as the same syllabus is almost all applicable to the EAP set also, as I discussed in our earlier presentation, that is EAP set. Okay, in EAP set, that is engineering, agriculture, pharmacy, common entrance test, so which is conducted in both the Telugu states, AP as well as TS, Telangana state, right? So for this EAP set as well as for JE main also, the syllabus for the subject physics we are going to discuss in today's lecture 1. Okay, so basically coming to the JE examination, actually JEE examination is joint entrance examination. It is nothing but joint. We already know that everyone. Joint entrance, joint entrance examination. Okay, that is what the abbreviation for JEE, which is normally conducted by the central government autonomous body, that is NTA. This is what National Testing Agency. This is what National Testing Agency, right? So every year, this NTA is a central government autonomous body. This NTA is responsible to conduct this JEE main examination. Okay, this is responsible to conduct JEE main examination. JEE main examination. And however, this is what the step 1 in JEE examination, that is what the main, as well as the second portion is also there. The second part is called as advanced. The second one is the advanced. So the first in JEE, the first step is mains, and the second step of JEE is the advanced. This is the second step. Okay, this is the first step under JEE. So the first step, that is what the JEE main it is called, which is conducted by the NTA, National Testing Agency, whereas the advanced, that is JEE advanced, it is called, it is organized by, conducted by the Indian Institute of Technologies, IITs. Okay, advanced is conducted by the IITs, right? Okay, today our focus is that to see what is the syllabus of this physics subject basically. So, as far as the JEE main is concerned, as far as our JEE main, this is what our actual focus, the JEE main exam is concerned with respect to our physics subject, with respect to physics subject. Okay, so the NTA, the organizing body is NTA, that is National Testing Agency, is the central government body. It is formulated, the NTA is formulated the entire physics syllabus for JEE main as into 20 units. How many? 20 units actually. Remember that. So the NTA is formulated, the National Testing Agency is formulated into 20 units for this physics subject. So that is what, starting from unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and so on, so up to unit 20. That is what I mean. That is nothing but unit 1, starting from unit 1. Okay. And then next unit 2, likewise unit 2, and so on so forth. It is up to unit 20, up to unit 20. Therefore, it is formulated the entire physics syllabus into 20 units, right? In fact, the last unit is nothing but, that is unit 20, is based on the experimental knowledge of the students, okay, which they have covered during their intermediate first year as well as in their intermediate second years. Normally, they will perform certain experiments based on that experimental knowledge, okay. So, some questions will be asked. So, that is covered under unit 20 of our NTA syllabus for this physics subject. So, nothing but unit 1 to unit 19. Unit 1 to unit 19 are the completely, these are the theoretical part, a completely theoretical part, covering so many of topics that I am going to explain now. So, you starting from unit 1 to unit 19, these covers different chapters or different topics of physics subject. Normally, they are covered during the first year of intermediate as well as the second year of the intermediate in general, right? The unit 20 is something special which is purely based on the experimental knowledge of the student, right? Now, remember that how many units are there as per the NTA? There are the 20 units. You have to remember. Now, the entire 20 units which is formulated by NTA can be broadly classified into six major parts, right? The entire the entire 20 units of this physics syllabus, which is formulated by the NTA, that can be simplified into six major parts. Okay, the entire 20 units of this syllabus can be formulated in a simple, brief manner into six parts. Okay, six parts for our convenience. What are the six parts? Part 1. Okay, the first is part 1. The first one is the part 1. What is this part 1? Normally, this part 1 is nothing but mechanics. This is nothing but mechanics. I will explain you afterwards what is this means. And the second part, that is part 2, is nothing but electrodynamics. The second is electrodynamics. That is the second part of this, okay, category. And the third one is part 3. Okay, part 3. What is the part 3? This is what, modern physics. What is this? Modern physics. This is what, the third part. And the part 4. Okay, what is that? The part 4, it is optics. It is optics. It is the optics. And then part 5, I will write here. What is the remaining two parts are the, so the next is the part 5. So the part 5 category is that thermodynamics. What is that? Thermodynamics, thermodynamics, and kinetic theory of gases. What is that? Kinetic theory of gases. This is simply called as KTG, kinetic theory of gases. This is what the part 5. And the lastly, It is part 6. What is, part 6 is nothing but your oscillations and waves. This is called as oscillations and waves, right? These are what, in general, the six broad categories, okay, of the total entire syllabus, which is covered under your 20 units. They are classified into these in six parts. Let us consider the first one, which is part one, which I have previously mentioned. That is nothing but mechanics. That describes about the motion of law, and that covers the gravity, right? The motion of the body in a straight line, and the motion of a body in a plane, right? So these are the things which we will study under that mechanics actually. And then second, coming to the electrodynamics. In the second part, that is electrodynamics. So the electrodynamics is describes about the electrostatics. The electrostatics, nothing but what is the charge of the electron, and then what is the electric field intensity, and this it is all related about the electric field. And similarly the magnetostatic also, okay, the magnetostatic also, right? So during the discussion of those units, that we can elaborately see there, right? Therefore the first one is the mechanics, okay, and the second one is the electrodynamics, and the third one is the modern physics. So the part 3 is about the modern physics. In the modern physics, normally what we will get, so it describes about the diodes, okay, and uh, then the semiconductors, especially the semiconductors, and then coming to the logic gates also. Logic gates, what are the digital logic gates? So these are covered under that, okay, modern physics. This is one of the scoring subject, okay, scoring topic, otherwise scoring topic, or scoring chapter, you can say, right? That is what the chapter 3. And chapter 4 is nothing but the optics. Here we will cover two types of optics. One is the ray optics, second one is the wave optics, okay. One is the ray optics, second is the wave optics, that we will see there. And coming to the part 5 is the thermodynamics and kinetic theory of gases. What is the thermodynamic principles, and what are the various properties and the applicable formulas associated, or theory, whatever is with related to the theory kinetic theory of these gases, that we will see during the discussion of this. And the part 6 is nothing but oscillations and then waves, oscillations and then waves. So these are the six major parts we have divided, and these six parts covers the entire 20 units of the syllabus, which is framed by that NTA, right? So in our next subsequent presentations, one by one, each unit wise, the coverage of all the 20 units with respect to these six parts, I will explain you in detail. Just you keep on following, keep on listening, and keep on learning, right? And again, I will tell you here the very important thing, the weightage of marks, especially JEE mains. So I have just explained you that there are six parts basically, right? The entire 20 units of syllabus we have categorized into six parts. Now the weightage of the marks, okay, weightage of the marks, weightage of the marks. So coming to the part one, so part one, P1 is nothing but part one. Normally, it weights up to 25% to 30% of your total marks. So, what is our part one? Mechanics. You have to remember that mechanics, that covers that, okay, covers 25% to the 30% of your total marks. And coming to that, the second, that is part two. What is part two? P2 nothing but part two, that is electrodynamics. So normally this covers up to maybe 20% to 25% of the total marks of your syllabus. And coming to the third one, what is the third one actually? It is modern physics. Normally, P3, nothing but part 3, it is modern physics. Roughly, it weights up to 20% of total marks of that JEE mains. And coming to the 4, that is part 4. What is your part 4? Part 4 is the optics. Normally, this optics covers roughly 10% of the total marks. And then coming to the your 5, 5 is that thermodynamics and kinetic theory of the gases. Again, it weights up to another 10% roughly. And coming to the sixth one, and coming to the sixth one, that is your oscillations and then waves. That is part 6. Normally, it may up to some maybe roughly 5%, minimum 5% of marks. Minimum 5% of marks. This is what the weightage of marks normally distributed. These are the weightage of marks. Almost all, right? Almost all. This is the weightage of the marks allotted for each uh, parts actually. Therefore, if you see the first one, part one, it is nothing but the mechanics. This is the highest weightage, 25 to 30%, and P2 is the what is that electrodynamics. So these two are the very very important, very very important. Nothing but more questions, more marks will be asked from these two, and afterwards P3 20%, and then P4 10%, 10%, and 5%. Likewise, this is the distribution of marks. This is uh, for your quick reference, right? So with this, we finish off today's presentation here. In our subsequent presentation, let us start from the I mean the part one, which is the mechanics. Okay, so which is what are the different subtopics covered under this mechanics, that one by one in detail we will see, and we will enjoy these. Okay, thank you for listening. All the very best.